Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/Entitled Parents. In today's episode, Mom tried to invite herself on my trip, told me I'm not allowed to move away. My mom tried to have my area of a shared house cleaned on my roommate's dime, while house sitting for us. Would this piece of news from Brazil fit here? 'Cause I think it would. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. Mom tried to invite herself on my trip, told me I'm not allowed to move away. I won a trip to NYC through my work for hitting some high metrics, and I called my mom to tell her. I was feeling proud of myself and thought she would be proud, too. Here's a quick rundown of the conversation. Immediately asking if she could come with me and getting angry when I told her no because that it probably wouldn't be best for a woman in her 60s who was fresh off back surgery to go limping around NYC. Demanding that I bring her a sandwich from Katz's. Sure, Mom. I'll buy a sandwich, travel to the airport with the sandwich, fly 2 hours home with the sandwich, and then drive an hour to your place to deliver the sandwich to you. What is she thinking? Asking if I'd move to NYC if the raise was significant enough, then getting angry when I said yes. You can't. It's too far. How do you expect me to drive there? I'm not expecting you to do shit. It's not about you. What the hell, lady? I can't even celebrate doing well at work without this woman draining the life out of me, and then she gets pissy when I don't want to spend time with her. God give me strength. Well, apparently moving to NYC is not a bad idea for totally a different reason. And congrats! Enjoy the trip. I won a trip to Hawaii when I was 19 and I was guilt-tripped into giving it to my family. Who would look after the house when you're gone? Who would take care of your aunt when you're gone? I have been taking care of my aunt since I was 16. You are the responsible one. We can't rely on your sister, so my parents, all my siblings and their spouses went on a all-paid-for trip to Hawaii while I stay home with my disabled aunt. Narcissist, you got to love them. I hope you enjoyed your trip to New York. Ugh, sounds like my mother-in-law. She lost the privilege of knowing what's going on in our lives because she always finds a way to ruin it. It's hard keeping things from her, but try it out. It's so nice having happy secrets. She's on an info diet. I got a raise along with the trip, but I left that part out. Congratulations on your trip. NYC is a lot of fun. Enjoy. And that is how entitled idiots end up in the shittiest nursing homes and wonder why they never see or hear from their offspring ever again. OMG. I cannot stand parents like this. I am a 58-year-old mother of 2 responsible adults. They drive me crazy. I went for a drive recently and was out of phone contact for 3 hours and they were losing their minds. They call me multiple times every day. I am a fully functional adult. I don't do drugs, I don't drink. I am a responsible adult. They are the ones who want to manage my life. I have had the same boyfriend for 9 years. I am selling my house and spending the winters in Arizona, and they are having a hard time thinking that I won't be available 24/7 to watch grandkids, or dogs, or pick kids up and all the things they expect me to do. Don't get me wrong, I love and adore my kids and grandkids, but I need to enjoy the rest of my life. This is the only life you get. You do not owe your mother anything beyond love and respect. She made her choices and has no right to make yours for you. Move where you want. Set firm boundaries. Congrats. That's awesome. Time for NC with Mom. She is draining your joy and you shouldn't let her. My father told me the same thing when it came to me wanting to move to NYC. Laughed in my face, said I dreamed too big, said he would never allow or let me move out on my own, etc. etc. So please enjoy your trip and don't let those narc-a-holes get into your head. You should definitely move just to get away from them at this point. Do what you need to and have fun. My mom tried to have my area of a shared house cleaned on my roommate's dime, while house-sitting for us. This story happened over a decade ago, but events today caused me to tell my wife this story, who said I should post here. I was in my last year of my bachelor's at the time, living with 3 roommates in a 4-bedroom house rented nearby campus of a larger university. Being a relatively social group, we would have several people over at the house multiple days a week, and we were not the tittiest bunch. Think dishes in the sink getting cleaned twice a week, and floors getting swept irregularly, and mopped rarely. Fast forward to a long weekend where myself and all roommates were joining a group of friends camping. I asked my mom, who was somewhat in between places, if she wanted to house sit. She did, and I passed off my keys. We didn't have pets or anything to take care of, this was really just so she had a place to herself for the weekend. We leave for the campsite with the house in its usual state. Old dishes, a floor loosely swept but not mopped, less than sanitary toilet areas, and dirty laundry in my hamper, and likely my roommates as well, but nothing unusual for our place. I hear nothing from my mom for the entire trip. There was mediocre cell service, so I would have gotten calls or texts. I assume everything is fine and frankly don't think about the house at all. When we come home, we open the door to a very clean living room. Continuing into the kitchen, we see a room cleaner than it's been since we move in. I then notice that my room and my shared bathroom are cleaned, but my roommates' rooms and bathrooms are not. At first, I'm actually quite thankful those were untouched, as I assumed my mom cleaned the house. That is, until she happily informs us that our house was disgusting, so she hired cleaners. She goes on to say it took the cleaners 2 hours to clean it all, and that she paid for my portion, but that my roommates owed her something like $70 each. None of my roommates came from super limited means, but $70 was still a lot for all of us, especially considering we'd just gone on a camping trip. Even worse, she never asked whether any of them wanted to pay, she just did it. Of course, all of them came to me to tell me they couldn't pay for it, and noticed my areas cleaned where theirs weren't. When I talked to my mom and told her my roommates of course weren't paying and I'd split it with her, I'm not even sure how she paid for it up front, she couldn't understand why they were upset. Apparently, the only reason we didn't have a clean house is because we wouldn't pick up the phone and hire cleaners, and she thought everyone would be thankful, especially me because I also had a clean bedroom and bathroom. I wish I could say this is the last time she spent others' money on my behalf, but stories for another day. Your mother is the embodiment of a narcissistic person. Shows you how she'd treat you by the way she treated your roommate. Narcissistic? I know that's one of the go to Reddit diagnoses, but honestly, you're way off the mark here. Mom's showing a spectacular level of ignorance, thinking she can hire anyone and bill it on without prior arrangement. A low-level entitlement by just asking for the money. But is this showing a high belief in their own self-importance? Or any actual narcissistic traits? Nope. Are you sure she paid and wasn't just trying to get dollar from you all? My experience with cleaners as an adult is that you pay at POS. Don't think she got out of that one. Why is your mom pretend homes? I bet she is scamming your friends. It was many years ago now. Just a ridiculous story at this point. She wanted to live in a clean house while there, so got cleaners to clean the areas she used. I recently house sat my son and cleaned the areas I was using, but left the rest the filthy pigsty it was when I arrived. The difference being I didn't pay someone to do it, and, if I had, I wouldn't have charged them. Would this piece of news from Brazil fit here? 'Cause I think it would. So basically what happened is that a cop decided to literally, and sorry for the caps lock here, threaten a teacher with a gun pointed to his head after he had an argument with his child and all. Now this would be bad enough, even if the kid himself was innocent. But the reason the teacher decided he had to, pull him up to a private conversation and deal with him, is the reason the teacher chose to pull him up for a private conversation and reprehend him. The reason, my dear readers, is that he was unironically defending Nazism during a lecture. That's right, the parent literally had a son defending some of the most disgusting human beings in human history, and an ideology that has killed a shit ton of people, and continues to cause harm to this very day. And decided that the best course of action is to threaten to arrest the teacher, and when that fails, pull a gun on his head. Also, the teacher was target of frequent mockery from the student. Not surprising considering how little respect people in Brazil has for teachers. But either way, what do you guys think? Do this little incident fit here? I think it does. This has to be the most primal example of an entitled parent I've ever seen. I wouldn't even be surprised if the parents were Bolsonaro partisans. But to make sure, the teachers saw a kid defending Nazism during a lecture, called the parents to have a conversation about said lecture, and the parents called to the cops to warn the teacher to STFU and let the dear angel to defend Nazism? Because if so, it does belong in here. This goes a little beyond entitled and into the realm of psychopathy. #ACAB. Yeah, but then again, from what I've seen from this sub's stories, psychopathy isn't exactly a super rare trait on entitled parents. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.